Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We are back once again. I was looking at my skills to see why I wasn't spending 2 upgrade points, and it's because I want to get +2 on either engineer or more than likely intuit, because intuit seems to be more useful. But yeah, we are back. We are back on the ring. I think, as I mentioned in the Discord for anyone who saw, I'm pretty sure I wasted a day by waking up, feeding the cat, and then going back to sleep on accident. So we're playing it canonically as though the citizen sleeper has he's in a bit of a depressive loop. You know, he tried to get on the side rail horizon. Everything seemed to be going okay. And then, like, it turns out he was just used as basically almost free labor. So, but he's also, like, you know, he's also improving himself, and he had that epic showdown with Ethan, where he you know, showed Ethan who was boss, and now Ethan is coming back to him begging for help. That's definitely what's happening. So yeah, let's go talk to Feng. Hey, Garrett. You didn't miss much. We're only started. Feng grins at you as the bay door slides open. Above, in the rest of the building, people are busy, frightened. They speak in hushed tones and organize endless meeting after endless meeting. Haven Age have avoided a full-blown crisis for now, but change is coming. Feng is in good spirits and bundles you inside before you even have a chance to greet him.
That was the slickest operation this station has ever seen.
He hugs you firmly.
You made my job easy.
He shakes you by the shoulders.
I am so proud.
I would like to remind everyone that this operation that went really slickly happened over the space of like 3 days, because there were some times when I would try to roll to like move further on and I would be like, I don't have those dice. Just hide in a broom closet, Feng. I'm gonna go to sleep and see that my dice look better tomorrow. Bye. And he smiles. I got to watch through the cameras as the Haven Age security that weren't on it assaulted the station. Feng smiled. One of them straight up just whacked hard with their pistol. It was beautiful. They have him? What are they gonna do with him? I'm not sure anyone knows, but he is cooperating in dismantling his operation and scaring off Conway. Maybe they'll exile him when they're done, or hand him over to some core authority. Now I know he won't be an issue. I'm gonna be focusing on systems for a bit. He shakes his head, seeing as, you know, that's my job. You still have a job? I thought you were fired. Weren't you fired? He points to the ceiling. People upstairs weren't so happy though. They've been fielding questions about the state of the eye right and left since the recording got out. People are scared. I'm not surprised. Yeah, this whole thing hasn't won me many fans in the administration, but I think in the end they'll agree that outing Harden was worth it. Whatever the methods. He touches a stack of hardware. The eye is old, and it was never meant to run like this. The master control points that Erlin and Haven Age installed, they keep it spinning from the rim. That isn't ideal. But if you're asking me if the eye will stop spinning next cycle, nah. He smiles. And a ton of other skilled people will be working to stop it happening in the cycle after that. Harden's problem was that he didn't believe in people. He believed in systems. and their ability to shape the world around them. Feng squeezes your shoulder. But as far as I'm concerned, people should be the one running the systems, not the other way around. Anyway, Feng raps on the side of his terminal. I know you didn't come here for my lecture. What about the tracker that you'd said you'd pull out of my head like a month ago? Ah, yeah, I haven't forgotten. He produces a thumbnail drive. I managed to finish the code solution I showed you. It's a modified Ripper worm, one made to deactivate that tracker of yours. But in the time since I got back, I added something extra. That tracker of yours doesn't just show SNR where you are. It transmits data about the state of your body, your current condition. My worm won't just deactivate it. It'll edit that data to tell SNR that your body is irreparably damaged. DNR, do not retrieve. He grins widely. Pretty smart, eh? Thanks. Just slot it already. You take the drive and hold it in your hand. Then you close your eyes and open your access ports. I opened my access ports in front of him? He hasn't even taken me, he hasn't even bought me dinner. God, I'm a bit of a slut. Take down your defenses. The worm immediately enters your closed network. It whips through it, taking things with it as it goes. The moment they are gone, you forget they were ever there. They just blink out of existence. A second later, it is done. You open your eyes. How do you feel? Asks Feng, a little nervously. Tired. Just in every meaning of this word, I feel so tired. Are we all? He pats you on the shoulder. Take it easy. Things might be a little woozy for a minute. He looks at his terminal screen. Logs tell me it worked, so feel it or not, you're free. Feng lets the word free hang in the air a little before he continues. Seems like it might be finally time for a celebration. Feng wraps his arms around you. Jenna still owes us those drinks. He laughs and you join him. And later, when you leave, you feel deeply thankful for having such a friend. He is not my friend. We are not friends. Me and Feng are not friends. Me and Feng are begrudgingly respectful colleagues. As you walk away from the building, you look up at the wide curve of the eye, up at the hub, and the other rim beyond it. The whole thing twinkles with lights, and it seems impossible to see it as anything other than the breathtakingly beautiful structure it is. It feels, in that moment, like something eternal. That doesn't mean it can, or even should, last forever. Or that it will never change, fade, or decay. It simply means that in this moment, this place has a future, and it is one that you know, deeply and truly, is worth protecting. Yay! Oh, the question now is, do I put it into Intuit or do I put it into fucking Engineer? Like, given that this is like the core of who I am, I should probably put it into Engineer. Well, if Feng is working on it, then I can sleep soundly. The most competent man on the ring. Yeah, most competent man we know. It's probably why most of the competent people we know are women. I'm gonna go through the rest of my day and see what pops up more often. If it's engineer things, or if I see things that would be useful to have engineering in, I'll get it. If not, we'll go for we'll go for the intuit. It's probably going to end up being intuit. At the moment, I am tasked with tracking Ashton, but I also ooh, what's happening with Ethan? Do I want to click on this? I don't remember him. I don't remember Ethan having like a countdown thing. So I'm curious as to why this. What does it say in my drives? Hey, Ethan's tab. Yeah, that wasn't it. Was there not a thing that was like gain Ethan's protection? Ethan is gone. You tried to put him out of your mind, but some days it is a hard thing to do. Work in the compressor. No, I don't wanna. The compressor is almost empty when you enter. A couple of scattered patrons in the booths and a lone bartender. The bartender recognizes you immediately when you arrive and nods, and you return the greeting. You know already that you won't find Ethan here, but you had to be sure. With your tracker reporting you dead, he won't have stuck around. You look at the empty stool, his empty stool, and you smile. You can imagine him on it with his slate, when his slate chirps, letting him know that the target he was tracking is dead. You can imagine the screaming and the swearing too. Is that all you were to Ethan? Another target? Or was there something else going on? It seems like a foolish question to ask now, when he has fled the station, but it bothers you anyway. You take one last look, and then walk out. You doubt you will ever come back to this place, or the memories it holds. You walk back into the lights of the bright market, and allow yourself to smile. So this is what Feng meant when he said you were free. You could get used to this. You know, I'd feel a lot better about that little cutscene that happened if this countdown timer didn't still exist. Oh, the countdown timer doesn't exist anymore. Yay! I do feel happier. Yay! I was right. Sweet. Tight. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's nice when it's nice when a bounty hunter isn't fucking trying to bring you back in, capture you and bring you back into slavery, isn't it? Good times. Good times. Let's cross into the greenway and go for Feng. Look, as I said, I begrudgingly respect him. So, just to fill everyone in, before the stream, this was a 4, a 1, a 3, and a 3, and then I was like, ooh, that's not a great hand. I'll re-roll that, and now it's a 3, a 1, a 3, and a 3. So, this could have been a 5. Ugh, shit. Okay. Jesus Christ. I'll do that in a minute. I need to eat. I need to eat something fierce. Actually, is there... Can I get... Control the block. I don't get energy for this, okay. Come on, come on, come on. Yes. You know. It's not ideal, but we're gonna have to eat. We're gonna have to eat here anyway. I like how it keeps on adding on to it. Keeps giving me the plus for fungus fan, even though fungus fan hasn't been a thing in like ages. So I can do this now. I definitely shouldn't. Like if I fail, which is very likely to happen, I will lose 2 condition, which I do not want. Who stopped being a fan of who first? I mean, I didn't stop. I didn't leave Funguson. Funguson left me. Alright. The trail extends deep into an overgrown section of the greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the waste, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its access by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like a frozen brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding. You are pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Ankita gave you in your palm. Yes, of course, call her. I am not a fighter. Are you out of your mind? I mean, I suppose when it says, like, go alone, I could have, like, talked to the dude, but I'm not trying to give moral complexity to what I'm doing here. This is a nice lady and I like her. I don't want to learn that, like, she's a bad person. Alright? I don't want that moral complexity in my life. It is a spook. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments, you hear Ankita. Sleeper? Have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? I'm like 90% sure I found him, yes. Copy. Hold tight until I get there. The static cuts out. The channel, dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead, the stars wheel with the motion of the eye. And your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, glowing stack farms. Now it is a wilderness, a strange overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile, despite everything. It seems like an improvement. Sleeper! Ankita's hiss brings you back out of your reverie. He in the collapse stack? I think he might be. I'm not 100%, but yes, I think he is. She gives you a look. You better be right. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth. Work our way around. Why do you keep saying our? Why do you keep using like group pronouns? Like, I am not going with you. I'm a scout. This isn't Valkyria Chronicles. I can't just run to him and like raise a flag behind his head and then we win. I'm a weak boy. I am flickering at the moment. She heads off towards the central spine of the greenway, with you following close behind. It is slow going there, where the undergrowth meets the metal wall. It is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above. Ankita somehow seems to know where to go. Ankita works her way through dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting, and you desperately want to rest. But Ankita shows no signs of letting up. Up ahead, there is a faint glow from a collapsed stack. Ankita leads you around the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up the slanted tank, Ankita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in a pale and sickly green. Ankita reaches the edge of the tank, where it meets the central drum, and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides and wet mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green.
It's like being back in Ireland. It's like I never fucking left the Emerald Isle.
Then you see the sleeper.
See, this is the moral complexity that I was trying to avoid. This is the moral complexity I was trying to avoid. Continue.
In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper
Alert, alert, the sleeper is a spook. The sleeper is a spook.
The sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object. A cylinder, set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, wrong. You look away. Ankita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. Her eyes fix on the object.
That's Amber Shipmond,
she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder.
Wait.
You turn to Ankita to speak, but she is already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact.
Cool, she has like impact, like decompressors or whatever. Like she has those things that Jensen from Deus Ex has, where like she can land from really high height, and like when she hits the ground she just goes psss, instead of like breaking her ankles.
The shot hits her shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into the impact. Then she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates, beside the sleeper.
Shit!
You hear the shout from one of the tanks, high on the far wall. Ankita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mind and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here, or I'll rip this right out of their fucking head! She screams at the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. The Icarus landing system, yeah. Stay silent. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping of water running down the walls of the drum. Then, Ashton calls out. Cool. So rare that we get to see like a sleeper. I usually don't get to see these things. Neat. Does it have a boob? Why would they give it a boob? It's a slave. Why does it need that? I'm coming down. Don't do anything stupid, for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Drop the gun, Ankita shouts. He throws it down onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. Well, there's no point in hiding anymore. Maybe they were a milkmaid. What are you up to here, Ashton, you fucking sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my ship mine for what, some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has a hold of. Steady, Ankita. This isn't what it looks like. I needed the ship mind. You have to understand. They would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship line and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity. Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for it. For your help. You only look after yourself. He nods at you. That sleeper up there? They're just bait, right? You draw me out? Ankita sucks a breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I love them, and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way. He inches closer. Please? I can't let you take it, Ashton. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you? After all that? I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. He raises a hand. I'm going to take the ship mind, and then I'm going to leave. Nikita loosens her grip on the connection a little. Her hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton! She lowers the gun a little. Stop! Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another, and then another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding in the water, the red and the green. Nikita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly. Drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There is no sign of life, of humanity. They are just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around living things grow and thrive. Nikita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something. Something that might be sorry, but you are already gone. I wanted to talk to Ankita about what happened, but apparently I ran away like a little bitch. Jesus. Are you selling scrap? Oh, ship mine fragment. What do I need a ship mine fragment for? You guys buy data, but I don't have any data. You also buy ship mine fragments. What do I get for this? Do I get anything for this? I get money for this. Maybe you ran away when you sensed moral complexity. I would have run away a lot sooner than that if that was the case. There isn't anywhere for me to buy. At some point I'm gonna have to buy another pill, which is annoying. I guess I'll just go to sleep. Actually, no. Talk to Ashton. Where is or talk to... Yeah, talk to Ankita about what happened. Where do I do that? Talk to Ankita about what happened. I would love to. Where is she? Well, I suppose if we have nothing else to do, we might as well see if we can't hack someone. You want Haven Age data. It's you that wants yet again data. like that I just have a ship mind. Just like in my back pocket in case I ever wanted one. Like, I don't have a quest for Neovend anymore, do I? No. Alright, let's go to sleep, I guess. Wait. Should I go to sleep? Should I use the pill and then go to sleep, or should I go to sleep and then use the pill? I should probably use the pill and then go to sleep. You can talk to the ship mind in case you get lonely, yeah. Just like connect my brain directly into it and then lose all sense of self. Yeah, pill first seems like a good idea. And come out of the room. I'm not paying the cat tax anymore. Well, I do actually have like 4 credits. Like if I spend the 4 credits, I'll be down to. If you buy crackers and put them out, the stray always comes. The stray crunches up the crackers as you watch. Sometimes they'll let you stroke them. Sometimes they won't. Yeah, it's a pretty good day. Okay, I was thinking she might be back down here, but she doesn't seem to be back down here yet. We're gonna see if she's up here, and if she's not up here, I want to do some waste. Scrap hunting in the wastes. Ankita is away. Amber is docked here at a rickety old jetty, but she's sealed up. A note says, "Sleeper, stay. I'll be ready soon." I'm not a dog, Jesus. So what are the other things that we have? I suppose if I want to... No, I suppose I could expose Yannick. I don't think I have what it takes to expose Yannick. Isn't that... Is that an... That's an engage thing, right? If I recall correctly. Yeah, that's an engage thing. And it's danger. So, we're gonna wait until we have a +1 in engage before we do that. Which means it's probably gonna be a while. In terms of other missions that we have, it's like get to know Emphas, which is I need Garole caps, which I'm thinking has something to do with this. I'm not 100% sure. Although I think Jacob might have mentioned before that like if I just go exploring around the Greenway, I might find stuff. Let's go exploring. Let's bring our intuit up to 2 and then go exploring. No, wrong one. You have no idea how many times I have almost accidentally clicked this while trying to click this. Sweet. Way to get mushrooms is a trip and a half. Ooh, I discovered a drive. Grom. Oh. Oh, clear. The aviary would be the perfect place to grow mushrooms with some work, that is. Oh. Why are there birds here? Why are there birds here? Other people's mushrooms. I could just steal other people's mushrooms. Why doesn't everyone do this? 2 grove spores? What do I want a grove spore for? While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather and study the species in an untouched form. The fungus that grow in the deep groves of the Greenway are typically avoided, but those with sharp eyes might find useful fruiting bodies. And then the aviary. Clear out the overgrowth. Sunlit refuge. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with gene-tweaked birds, now this chamber is a mess of overgrowth. You can change that. Cut away the choking vines, stop the rot, and this place will be turned into a garden of sorts. So I guess I have to do both of those things. I have to like get the spores so that I can like grow mushrooms. And then I also need to clear this place out so that I have a place to grow mushrooms, I guess. I mean, this is safe. The only thing I'll lose from this is money, I think. Sweet. Now to lose money anyway because I need to eat. You've discovered the setting of strange horticulture. I can't wait to kill an ignorant noble. Or no, what was he? A barrister? He was a barrister. All barristers should die. Horrible people, all of them. None of us should be alive. Right, I need to eat. Hey, Emphas. I found a place where I can maybe make your garole. Also, I forgot what your voice is. So, it's gonna be interesting when we get to talk again the next time. Alright, let's go sleep. He may have been a barrister, but he ended up as Flange. Alright, so that's endure. But this is intuit. I'm so glad I put those points into intuit. Sweet. Not what I wanted. I wanted griol caps. I guess griol caps are for eating? Instead of actually me getting griol caps to give to Emphas? No, wait. That was the policeman that came to investigate his accidental death. Look, a lot of people died. A lot of people died in that game. Hey, I got grove spores. Yay? I want grove spores. Hey,
Sunlit Refuge. Hey! Right. This was a productive day of gardening and frightening birds. My cat would be proud. Slept. Oh. A cocktail of unknown spores gathered from the Greenway Groves. I love that that's an item. God knows what I use it for, but cool. I as I said, I assume I use it to grow my own mushrooms that I then give to Emphas. All right, let's go talk to Ankita about what she did. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. Silent. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. I truly am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this. When all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. For that, Sleeper. That. She stares at the floor. I'm sorry. She looks up and away, not meeting your eye. I don't think I can forget, like, can I forgive her? Like, she did kill, like, an innocent person who was in my exact same situation. Someone who was in my exact situation who'd found love, like, that's gotta be hard for a sleeper to find love. Like, that cannot be an easy thing, given, like, the prejudice against our kind. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know how... I'm struggling to, like, see how annoyed I can be with her for, like, just like it was a heat of the moment thing. She didn't, like, she was holding the cable as a threat, and then, like, he went for her. Like, she was loosening her hands on the cable. She was, like, about to give in, and then he just, like, he engaged. I don't want to make her feel bad for a thing that she maybe did accidentally. Like, I got the feeling she was angry with the guy, but I didn't get the feeling that she wanted to hurt this person. Well, yeah, it's manslaughter, right? Like, but, like... Like, I've seen enough manslaughter cases over the years that, like, you can see fucking cases of, like, where you feel bad for the, like, for lack of a better word, the perpetrator, right? Because, like, they genuinely didn't intend to do it. Which isn't manslaughter, that's I'm not going to get into the definition. Different types of murder. I'm gonna. It's not okay. I wish there was another option, which was just like, because it's not okay. Yeah, I know yeah, but like, I think it was like it was a very emotional situation. At least from the way I read the text, it seemed like it was a very emotional situation where whether it's true or not, I get the impression from Ankita that she feels like a person who has been aggrieved her entire life, right? She feels like someone who, every time she tries to trust someone, they betray her. And this latest person who betrayed her, you know, it just stings. Because it's just like constant, like, betrayal. And I get, you know, I'm reading a lot into this, but that's the impression I'm getting, is that, like, she's a person that struggles to trust, and that, like, recently again, when she did trust, she was betrayed. And like, when that person then explained to her the situation, she started to see reason, and then they went for her, and she just went into combat mode. Like, I love that also we're talking about the fact, like, I'm not even angry about her killing Ashton Cade. Really don't care. Like, what I'm umming and on about is her, like, murdering the sleeper. While her inability to trust caused another person to betray her. Yeah. I'm really leaning towards okay. I just wish the wording was different. Because I don't think what she did is unforgivable. I think what she did is, to a degree, maybe bordering on heinous, but I don't think it's something she can't come back from. Just a tip. If she ever met a guy with a Russian accent that goes by the name Old Igor, maybe not trust that guy. You've already seen the unforgivable route. Okay. That does make me feel better. It's okay. She nods, then looks up to the stars. I've never... She stops herself. Thank you. Ankita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing... She grimaces. Look. Can you come with me? It's easier if... Just lay down. Ankita leads down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway. A quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it rustles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You've been trying not to think of it for the last 2 cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Ankita is leading you back there, back into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little at the threshold. she turns. What are you doing? She looks back at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks. Green and wet, some glowing with flickering grow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin. The smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound. But you follow Ankita into the stack, through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tank for the glint of a weapon, or a shadow among the moss.
Oh, cool, I have PTSD. Great.
Ankita stops, and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place, a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a while. You think of questions that you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? Was the sleeper dead? The sleeper was dead. I know the answer to this question. I don't think the answer to this question matters. You realize that those questions don't matter anymore. The water drips. The moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it. Life creeping back in. The silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place, forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it? Ankita says, from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say, but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think.
You see, part of me here wants to drop the chits, to like be like, I did this because we've become friends. I didn't do this for the job. And I hope that that's what that would symbolize. But I worry that me dropping the chits will be taken as, I worry that me dropping the chits will come across as like, I don't want your blood money kind of thing, you know? Which is not the message I want to get. I'm trying to like be supportive here, you know? But I also worry that like, this is another kind of one of those options where I feel like there's no good option for, like, unless I can expand on it as a, like, 2-3 word answers are not what I'm wanting here. I want to be able to expand on this and either take the chit, like, drop the chits and just be like, look, I didn't come here and chat with you and take this time out of my day to come back to a place where I have trauma so that I could take your money. I came here because you're my friend and I was worried about you. Like... But yeah, no, it's definitely going to come across as a blood money rejection. But then when you take the chits, I worry that it'll come across as... Good, that's the only reason I came here. Yeah, give me my fucking money, bye. You know? Like, I wish I could expand on this. Yeah, like it's either a blood money rejection or a blood money endorsement, and none of them are good. Like, if I want this to be immediately followed up by her like not saying anything, and then me being able to say something else to like either say fuck you or reassure her, and then I can reassure her, because I'm terrified if this just goes to like me taking the chits or me dropping the chits, and then it like spirals out into like 3 paragraphs of her fucking just like leaving and being sad, and me leaving and being like traumatized. You're gonna start playing Hitman together. Okay, so I think we can all agree that dropping the chits is probably the worst option here, so I guess I'll take them. Yeah, you see, this is what I was afraid of. This is what I was afraid of. I should have dropped the chits. Ah. Jacob, could you remind me in Discord to look into what the other path for this was? Because I'm like, this is the first time that I've made a choice where I'm like, I desperately want to see what the other path was. Just call it like Ankita blood money or something. I don't fucking know.
You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track, and she does not follow. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pocket, and you hate them for reminding you of how little a life is worth.
Ah, no! No! Worst upgrade point ever! Ah!
I found an old crewmate at the edge of the rim.
The bad end. That achievement was called the bad end! Ah! That achievement was called the bad end. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. Ah. Fuck. I think the turning point in that quest, when I could have like made a difference, was maybe when it was like, do you tell her to stop? And I was like, no, I'm remaining hidden. I probably should have said something, and it maybe would have made the situation different. I don't know. Oh god, I should have dropped the fucking... No, like, I can go over this in my head for, like, days, but, like, it's all well and good with fucking hindsight to be like, oh, I should have dropped the chits, but definitely, like, and, like, you agree with me on this, right, Jacob, that, like, dropping the chits seemed like the bad option. Like, I could see how, like, I wanted to drop the chits and be like, you don't agree? You think I should have dropped the chits? You don't like Ankita? Huh. Do you not like Ankita because of the murder, or do you not like Ankita because she's so emotionally repressed that her only way of dealing with us was to pay us? The murder, okay. I still see the like, I don't care that she killed Ashton, and the murder of the sleeper I think was
just a bad situation gone worse. I think she painted the situation black and white and created a scenario where this is most likely to happen. Yeah, no, I don't think she's like, I'm not trying to say that she's like a good person. I definitely think she did this mostly to herself. And I imagine she has done things like this to herself before. Seems like a recurring cycle with her. But you see, that's where I disagree with you. I think she could change. I think if we'd maybe, I don't know, maybe if we dropped the chits, maybe the game wouldn't have taken it in a rejection of blood money the way we thought it would have, and it would have taken it as like, you know, you would have said something and been like, I didn't come here for your money, I came here to like be your friend or whatever. I think that maybe you could have tried to fix them. I truly get the impression that she's just like lived a life where no one's ever taken a chance on her and everyone has betrayed her and it's just closed her off to the world, and that like you could have, I don't know. It's too late now. There's no point in umming on about it. It's over. Let's do some gardening to feel good about it, huh? Germinate spores. The old growth of the aviary has created a rich medium into which you can place the spores from the groves. Grow well here. The moist corners of the aviary make for perfect beds for the spores. Once they are filled, they can be left to grow. 3 days. See, the reason I didn't do that, the reason I didn't go to investigate, because I was terrified. Well, not that I'd die. I didn't think I was going to die, but I did think I was going to get fucked up, because I'm not like... You saw me when like everyone saw, y'all saw me when I fucking interacted with Ethan. I am not a confrontational person. I am not a bot of action. Yeah? Do I have to put in 3 spores? I do. Okay, I thought it was like put in the spore and leave it for 3 days, but no, I have to put in 3 spores. Okay. Yeah, I am not a bot of action. I feel like whatever would have happened in there, I would have done it poorly. But then again, I also didn't know that I didn't know that Ethan was in there with like the love of his life, basically. Or well, not the love of his life, but like his partner. And I like, from the little information she gave me to go on, I was like, if I go in there, this motherfucker's gonna kill me. I'm gonna go in there trying to be all diplomatic and shit and being like, hey, we can talk this out, and then he'll shoot me in the fucking leg or whatever. I went in there with her because I wanted a bodyguard. Like, the whole reason I started down her quest line was because I wanted a bodyguard that wasn't fucking Ethan. I mean, now I don't need a bodyguard anymore, but you know. Contrast this agonizing with my reaction to Igor stabbing me in the... Yeah, well, you know. My writers know how to tell a story. Like we don't come to Black Book for the deep narrative structure, Kira. Yeah, how she paints what will be waiting for you and what is actually there is insanely different. Yeah, it is. It's completely irrational for you to trust her and her word going into it. Yeah. Brings it up to a 4, which is still only 25%. Okay. I got a 6. And a 5
I am so glad I put those extra points into Intuit, my dude. You extract the spores from the sample print and mix them with water. Then inject them into prepared mulch. It is precise work. Feel like I'm back in 2020 again. Fucking getting like insanely into gardening for like a few months. Okay, sweet. So like in 4 days I should have mushrooms, I guess? The spores need time to germinate and spread in the aviary. The indirect sun of a few cycles should help them along. Sweet. Tight. Back in the year 2000. Getting insanely into 4, You see, back at that time, I didn't realize that I liked Pikmin style games, and like Spore was a Pikmin style game, wasn't it? No, I'm remembering Spore wrong. Spore was like a fucking evolution game, wasn't it? Spore was a lot of things. Spore was ambitious, is what Spore was. Come on, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies! Yeah! Alright. Holy shit! I didn't realize she gave me so much money. I didn't even look at the money until now. Fuck me. But mostly it was crashing. It was the early 2000s. Everything crashed. It was the way of things. Oops. Hey, not bad. I'm going to use those. I'm going to track this. I was going to track the grow mushrooms thing, but I'll just have to remember that this is up in 4 days. Because like, even if I do track it, it's not going to remind me in 4 days that it's ready. So. Hey, nice. Hey, nice. Hey, nice. Hey, nice. I was expecting a +1 from that, not a +3. Sweet. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small recorder, stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word. Sleeper. You grab it quickly. VSS, sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. A pause. It's risky, but obviously you were the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to SNR.
You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Yeah, Rabia says to be careful? Sabine continues. The data suggests there's some relay, processing the implant data and sending it to SNARP, but can't lock down its position. Either he is moving it, or it's moving itself, or it's rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details on it, like in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. You'll only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. A pause. Good luck, Sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder just in case, and walk away. Looks like it is up to you.
Well, at least it's an intuit thing. That's nice. You only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Yeah, but like he's gonna suspect something when he sees spaghetti all over my pants. Like,
Yannick has asked you to collect his medicine from his office. Now is the only chance to find that SNARP relay.
okay, I'm gonna wait until I can do this with a 6. Because I'm gonna fucking need it. Actually, if you could smear spaghetti on your pants, that would make you look more like IT support. Hey, don't insult Kira like that. Even if it's true. Yannick is trusting the shit out of you. What a moron. Yeah, people who trust me in this game only end up being sad, apparently. This will either go well or incredibly poorly. Let's see. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies! Come on! Yeah! Slowly we're climbing. Slowly we're climbing. I did a mountain climbing fucking gesture there, not that anyone could see it. Series of tangled passages spits you out on the other side of the spoke with little more knowledge than when you went in. Yeah, that's fitting. I'm not paying the cat tonight. Can I sell these spores anywhere? Nice! 2 6s. Sweet. Alright. Let's go betray an old man's trust. Actually, wait. Shouldn't I use 6s for... I should use 6s for something else. What am I doing? I'm gonna go climb this... What the fuck? What is this? Random items. Steal a shipment. With so many shipments, what's one diverted package? You would have no idea what... You'd have no idea what you're stealing, but that's part of the fun, right? Midline security. Stealing shipments from midline is going to be picked up fast. Even if you're careful. Their systems can't be fooled for too long. Embrace the casino. Your only god is RNG. Or freight operator. Midlane runs an automated freight
runs automated freight down from the free spoke. They need skilled operators, and you don't have to lift a single crate. Okay. So part of me is like, you idiot, go back to Yannick and spend your 6. And I'm like, yeah, but I have a +2 into it. So I won't be spending a 6, I'll be spending an 8. But like 8s aren't a thing. So I should like go back there with a 4, which means I should spend my 2 6s and then my 5 on something else that would be useful, right? And then wait until, and then try to re-roll the 2s and hope that I get a 4. I should just use the 6. Just use the 6. You've been affected by the mind parasite. I know! Ah! Somehow, deep in the spoke, you come across a thoroughfare, lit by work lamps, where groups pass back and forth with ease. Paz import and export. Oh, Paz sounds like he's gonna be a character. Let's go talk to Paz. I could just buy a ship mine core? I mean, too late now, but Jesus. Paz claims the ship mine core was salvaged from a Solheim executive yacht, which is why it costs so much. Or I could sell a ship mine core. I have a ship mine core. Huh? I could get 150 credits for Neovend. I've been worried all this time that you don't actually like the game, but having you agonize over possibly wasting a 6 has calmed me down significantly. Oh no, I enjoyed the game. I think what was putting me off, not so much the first night while I was still learning the game, but definitely the second night, what was putting me off was the amount of quests that were being thrown at me with no sign of any of them ever being resolved. That overwhelmed me, I think. But now that I'm actually seeing results and I'm doing things, I'm feeling a lot better about the game and I'm enjoying it a lot more. Even if I am only going to stream for like another maybe half an hour or an hour. Because I am very tired today. And like tired to the point that it was commented on by a co-worker of mine today that I respect. So I probably should get some sleep. Unfortunately, I am not sleeping well recently, as of late. Maybe cannabis can help with that. Paz says she has a contract who'll take ship mines, but she reminds you any ship mined from the eye fetches a lower price. Or I can export Matsutake. Oh, because I have mushrooms, because I grow mushrooms, yeah! Paz knows a spacer who will take Matsutake mushrooms out to the starboard belt, but only in bulk. Bulk is 3? Okay. Oh, 3 batches, okay. Alright, let's ascend the car. Take the ascender. No. I literally just realized what the ascender car is. It's this again. It's a 3rd section. Fuck. Oh, I thought I was done. I thought I'd explored everything. Fuck. Also, hasn't it been like hasn't it been enough days that, like, this thing should be taking off now? Like, the sidereal horizon? Shouldn't that be, like... I thought something would have come up with Lem and Mina by now. Whereas I could go, like... Oh no, Lemon... It's up on the... It is up on the hub, isn't it? Or it was. It's probably gone by now. Monster Train it is then. Yeah, apparently Monster Train it is. You've been bamboozled. The secret third jutsu. Alright. Let's do this stupid Yannick thing then. You spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you'd grabbed the drawer, you'd likely have 1,000 volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing. All clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech, the relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it had been for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory. His strange movement, his speech. You look again at the cradle, and there it is, printed on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of SNR. Rabia said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick, with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Is he even in control? Or has SNRP wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? You think of your own legal status as proprietary technology. A puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it. A remote connection. A tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNR. There it is. You pause for a moment, then you squeeze it. Snap it from the frame, and it crumbles, sparks, and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you are already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office, then out onto the walkway where Yannick lies still. Enforcers gathered around him, bemused.
And then I left like a shadow in the night.
You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was, or had become, is gone. God, there's so much murder happening tonight, Jesus. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on SNR. That achievement was called remote control because I stopped the signal. The aftermath. The low end is wild with stories about Yannick's death. You are still waiting for Rabia to get in touch, but you trust that she will. Now I'm paranoid. Now I'm paranoid that like. Now I'm paranoid that like. Everyone is out to like betray me in some way or another, and that like when I get back to Rabia's office, there's just going to be like Sabine and Rabia are just going to be there like thinking glasses or whatever, just been like, you did a good job, Pawn. We set up this whole thing from the moment we saw you to like get you to kill the old man for us so I could take over. And it's like, oh, okay. SNR, action role playing in Essen. That's probably what SNR started off as. SNR started off as a local role playing group, and then like one or two of them got into crypto, and then they made an app, and then like, you know, somehow they ended up in space, and then, you know, things just expanded. At one point they bought Twitter, which like, you know, was making robots at this point for some reason, and then they just like they expanded, and eventually I got like rolled into all of it. If you could do that to him, better not. If you could do that to him, better not upset Bang. Yeah. SNR went to the moon, from which point they built the moon base. Yeah, and then they expanded out into the belt to mine rare earth minerals. Should probably go check on my mushrooms. It's not a thing I thought I'd be saying tonight, but there you go. Other 2 days. I could get food from this, which I would like. Okay, a 4 and a 1. Not a terrible split, I guess. Let's stop beating around the bush and let's go up this elevator and see the third section of this stupid game. Yay! 3 things! Great! Brilliant! Alright, we have the side reel dock. I will... a ring within a ring. I will admit, just so y'all know, I was talking to a friend about this last night. The fact that I'm playing this game, and I was like, I think I'm at the end. And he's like, there's no real end, because he played it as well. And he's like, there's no real end to that game. And I mentioned about the side rail horizon and how I worked on it and how we got shipped out of the deal. And he was like, oh yeah, and then like you can choose to sneak onto it later. And I was like, oh yeah, I assumed I could sneak onto it later. At which point he immediately followed up with, that's a sad ending. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he proceeded to tell me what that sad ending was without me asking. I know now that if I was to choose to sneak onto the side rail horizon, that yeah, no, it's not really something he does. Yeah. But yeah, I know now that if you sneak onto the side rail horizon, you can successfully sneak on with yourself and Mina and Clem, and then and he was like, yeah, it's a sad ending, and I was like, oh, like, so I was mentioning that when I was playing it, and that like I assumed that like
you know, you'll have to hide for all the time you're on there, and the crew will like, because you'll be hiding from the crew. And he's like, no, the crew don't care. It's just that you need drugs to stay alive, and you don't have them on the sidereal horizon, so you die. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, like, at least Mina and Lem would be okay, but, you know, I'd die. So that would be an ending to the game where I am no longer alive in, like, what, like a month or something? Probably. I'd say I could last maybe like if I stocked up on drugs before we went, if I spent all of the money I have right now on drugs, I could probably last like a 2-3 months into a several decade long journey. Scout the dock. The sidereal is being loaded and prepped among all the commotion. Is it possible to find a way on board? You hope against hope that there's a chink in the sidereal horizon's vast armor. Become the ship. Start disassembling cryo sleeping chambers to do bodge job repairs on yourself. Yeah, that was one of the things that I met. Like we were playing a game at the time, so I didn't bring it up to him. But I did want to say to my friend at the time that was like, no, I got the scrap repair thing. I'll just like take apart parts of the ship that aren't necessary for the survival of the crew, and I'll just like, you know, I'll just slowly repair myself, like every day, just taking a chunk off the front of the hull and be like, I'll be grand. It'll be fine. They won't notice it. So I kind of still want to do this because I wonder, is there the option to like let Lem and Mina, because I still want Lem and Mina to get on this, right? Even though I don't want to get on it anymore because I know I'll die, I kind of still want Lem and Mina to get on it. So I'm gonna look at the other options first, but I'm pretty sure I'm still going to invest in this. The AE1 mainframe. The station's central mainframe. Kira, this is a question for you if you're still there. That letter that you guys have in your language where it's like A and an E, but they're like connected. Could you like phonetically pronounce that with other English letters for me? How is that pronounced? Is it like an A? The AE, yeah, this letter, this thing. How do you pronounce? How is that pronounced? Hey. Yeah, this one, this thing. I know it will be difficult. I know it's not an easy thing I'm asking you, but and if you think you can't, that's fine. But like, if you think you can, try and give me your best estimation on how this is phonetically pronounced. Thank you in advance, one way or the other. The AE1 mainframe is now mostly disused, Haven Age having set up their own master controls. Navigator thinks Killer is hiding there. Question mark, question mark, question mark. You slot Navigator and the clamps lock. The ship mine is stuck. How are you going to get them out of this thing? Oh, Jesus. You slip into the cloud as easy as blinking. The Navigator is beside you, their sphere casting a light into the strange darkness here. This is not how a mainframe should look. A center, a point of connection.
The object in front of you is severed, cut off, a rootless, branchless tree. Only the trunk remains.
It's dead.
Quiet! Navigator hisses. Then you see it. Like a blade in the darkness. An edge slicing through the void. It glides along at a distance and winks out. Then it appears again, elsewhere, gliding once more, searching. It's looking for us.
Ooh, cool. It's also a doggo. It's a doggo powered by the Triforce.
The moment you make a sound, the edge leaps closer. And you see now, it is not an edge, but the ridge of a long, sharp head. Like a shark.
Sure. Shark. Let's go with shark.
It glides past, closer now, and you see into the voids where its eyes would be. Should be. You and Navigator exchange looks, both thinking the same thing. It is blind.
Yeah, just because it's blind doesn't mean it can't kill John Krasinski, alright? Emily Bloom will spend an entire 2 movies trying to upend this thing, and it won't work.
Killer crosses between you, smooth as a razor, then disappears. It flickers back in, further away now, and you move close to Navigator to talk.
You saw it too then! Killer has been blinded. Wikipedia says the sound represented by the A in the English word cat, which seems about right. So so it's like so it's just pronounced like ah. So like instead of A, it's ah. Knife dog, knife dog. I like how much of this stream, for Jacob at least, is just fucking Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen meme.
You saw it too then. Killer has been blinded. We need to be careful. Correct. Protocol is clearly operating outside established limits. It may be unpredictable.
You flinch as the silent killer appears closer and glides past you, its empty sockets now wide open. You turn to Navigator and notice something strange. Their orrery of spheres is collapsing. The orbits, usually round and even, are decaying. The spheres are following spiral paths, condensing on a central point. Navigator is noticing it too. They go to shift their position, to better direct the spheres, but they cannot. Whatever is drawing the orrery together is holding them in place. They look at you, suddenly desperate, frantic.
It's a trap.
You go to speak, but Killer appears between the two of you, gliding through the gap. Navigator freezes, and you see them framed in the empty socket. You realize now, if Navigator cannot move, then it is only a matter of time before one of Killer's sweeps bring them directly through Navigator. And time is not a problem for a protocol that has been running for decades. You look desperately around for a solution, for a way to extract Navigator from the mainframe. Then you see it. 3 branches. the last three, thin and spindly, feeding the mainframe a thin diet of data and power. Break these, and the mainframe collapses once and for all, severing the connection, shattering the hardware. Whatever it takes, they must be broken. But they are encased in something, a glassy layer of protection. You'll need to unlock access before snapping them from the mainframe for good. You look at Navigator, trying to reassure them without speaking. And then you blink back into reality. Their expression of fear, an afterimage that slowly fades. How do they have an expression of fear? Their face is a nebula. It's half Leonardo and half rubbing my hands together in a way that suggests future misfortune. You must act quickly. What's my new drive? Deal with killer. Gain mainframe access. Oh, Jesus. I don't have any more keys! Ah! I don't have keys anymore! I used all of my keys! This controller protects the last spindly branches feeding into the mainframe. Unlock access and you might be able to break them. Wait, do I need like 6 keys to do this? Holy shit, I need like 6 keys to do this! Where the fuck am I supposed to get 6 keys? It's hard for a non-VI to understand VI facial tics. Oh my god, do I need like fucking 12 of these things? I don't know, just 9. Still, that's a lot. Jesus Christ. I need 9 of these things. Fuck me. Spacer socializing. The hub is thronging with spacers from across the surrogate systems. They can be a prickly bunch, but they know the place well. Access manifests. The stacked bays house a flow of incoming and outgoing ships. The digital manifests will help you get your head around this place. On. Engage. Yeah. You pick up a few tips from spacers waiting for their ships to refuel, though some of their stories seem unlikely to be true. Yeah, so I need to find a way to get keys. Now I have access to the gimbal lounge. Buy a space or a meal. The gimbal sells itself on its spinning sphere, which claims to produce therapeutic gravitational effects. It doesn't, but they sell food. Why would I just give someone money? What's this doing for me? Buy a space or a meal. Is this just to be nice? Is this just charity? A glint, like a light traveling along the edge of a wave, fills your eyes. Then the blade follows, a long head with two dead sockets, slipping toward you in silence. You freeze, hoping it will pass you by, hoping that it will not simply slice through you like air. The blade head nears, slides past you. Almost. It nicks you. You are desperate to cry out. All out. But you hold your silence and simply watch the blind eyes of the killer glide past, empty of all thought. Then the blade winks into the dark, and you are alone again. Now you cry out. Cool. Oh, keynodes, yeah. This node is connected to a remote array it buzzes with. You're reading a second out of thin air. You're reading a second out of thin air. It's just buy a space or a meal. Did I say second? So yeah, there's no, but yeah, I think the thing that you're getting at is that there's no, this is just literally be nice and bite. Saying buy a space for a meal, the text is buy a space for me. Oh, buy a space for meal. Oh. Right. Right. Yeah. Sorry, that I don't know why. Do you see what being tired is doing to me? I'm not getting simple reading comprehension. Jesus Christ. I actually do need to eat. I have a cold, I'm right there with you. Oh yeah, you were saying something earlier about you were struggling to sleep, but I didn't get to... I missed it, because I was doing other things. Yeah, your sleeping pattern has gone out the window entirely. I'm sorry to hear that, but... Right, and there's 2 days left on this. I can't interact with her anymore. Guess we'll go to sleep. These guys aren't here, so I can't buy any scrap. I just realized that the Sabine's clinic where I used to buy pills is gone now. I just realized that. Huh. That's upsetting. I think my mom caught the flu or worse COVID from one of the shit stains at her job working at a primary school. Here I am. It's so weird to me that he's still on the It's so weird to me that he's still on the screen even though there's nothing I can do with him. Another day until my mushrooms are done. I dislike when it makes that noise, because that's the noise that it used to make when Hunter was going to show up. Hey, Mia. I'm probably going to end in like about half an hour because I'm really tired tonight. But I'm glad you showed up. Welcome along. Make things interesting. Challenge Jacob for the title. No one's challenged him in days. Because Kirat's a coward. Did Mia have an assignment to watch Baby Driver? That's a good movie. Shame Kevin Spacey is in it, but still, it's a good movie. Of course you enjoyed it, it's a good movie. Okay, so I need to find this cipher so that I can get into this network, so that I can steal all of its keynodes, so that I can get my navigator friend back. Excessive waste. It represents excessive waste. It represents the waste of public money on vanity projects in a city that was about to hit recession, which would send for the next 2 to 3 years, which would send on and off for the next 2 to 3 years, which would send several people into poverty and homelessness. Stacks. Holy shit, that's a lot of energy. The dirt of the beds is rich. How did the commune manage to establish such a good biome here? You wonder on it as you work. It's people! Oh great, I exchanged a 2 for a 2. Great. Fuck it. Yeah, no one in the city really likes it. It's an eyesore, and it was protested by several people when it was in development and when it was being proposed, but no one listened to them, because all they saw was like, oh, we want a monument that's shiny and new and looks like a dick. But yeah, Mia, challenge Jacob for the title. I answered your question. Now do as I ask. Good girl. Oh, okay, so now I'm worried because I don't have... Now I'm worried because I don't have an access... Not only do I not have access to... Ooh, wow, Mia hasn't even taken damage yet. Well, never mind. If Jacob comes back from this, it'll be amazing. Oh my god, he might actually come back for this. No, never mind. Holy shit, he's still alive! Holy shit, Jacob is still alive! And now they're just like swinging punches at each other and missing. That was a hell of a fight. Let's see, do I remember how to do this? Congratulations, Mia. That was a good fight. I thought Jacob had died way sooner than he actually did. But yeah, as I was saying before that fight... Oh shit, I'm starving. What I was saying before that fight was that... Then we'll do what like happened the last time someone took the title and disappeared. After like 4 streams, I'll like take it back for myself and someone else will be able to fight for it. But yeah, as I keep on getting distracted from saying, now that I don't have a way to get now that I don't have a way to get pills anymore, is the only way that I can repair myself with scrap? Do I just have to like head to the scrap yards and like fill up on as much scrap as I can get? Harvest mushrooms. The fruiting bodies are appearing. Girls are easy to find, but Matsutake and other stranger types will require extra effort. Take your pick. I got 1 Matsutake and 1 club head. Those aren't either of what I wanted. The crop of fruiting bodies has broken the surface of the mulch. Once harvested, you'll have to grow more. Oh, I just get 1. Oh no, I can either get 2 random rare ones or 1 griot. Not that I'm aware of, no. Like, that's what I was saying before I ended the night. Before I came onto this day. was that, like, there used to be... Sabine's clinic used to be down here. But it isn't anymore. I don't know, I assume... Well, I see the problem with going to Yadigan. Well, I suppose I could go to the Tambor Tea House, maybe? No? Because I can't really go to Yadigan. Like, Yadigan headquarters at the moment is Rubia's office, right? That won't be filled for another 2 days. Because, like, Yannick has been killed, so, like, they're on the lowdown for, like, they were on lowdown for, like, 4 days. Maybe in 2 days, something will happen and, like, I'll be able to get another pill, probably, but, like... Two-day motion race. Ah, finally! Grole caps, pale peppery mushrooms used in flavoring I-made alcohol. Yay! I also have enough Matsutake mushrooms that I can sell them. I don't know what these are for. Why did I get an upgrade point? Put those sample collecting skills to good use. The achievement was called Spore Catcher. Oh yeah, I forgot that the growing the mushrooms was a quest. Forgot that growing mushrooms was a quest. Take an engineering job and staple yourself together like a real sleeper. I can't find engineering jobs. But I can go up here and I could go into the wastes and like look for stuff in here. Great, I replaced my 1 for a 1. Brilliant. This might be a good thing to get at this point. Okay, let's go. Talk to Emphas. He wants 3 of them? Oh, for fuck's sake. Part of me wants to sell the Matsutake caps, but at the same time I don't want to, because I'm like, maybe this is something for Emphas, you know? Like, Emphas already wants Garol caps. Maybe he would like... Maybe he would like to have Matsutake caps at some point. Oh, -2 energy if I fuck this up. Yep, there you go. -2 energy. Great. You have enough money to be able to hold on to those for now, I guess. Yeah, I do. All that blood money I got. Still wish I'd dropped that blood money on the ground. It also doesn't like escape my. I'm not. I haven't commented on it till now, but like, it is kind of dehumanizing that no one has given, like, either myself or any of my friends. None of them have given me a name yet. I'm just Sleeper. It's like if someone. It's like if someone called you, "Hey, human, come here." It's like, okay. I mean, technically you're right, but I mean, I'm happy about it. Um. I want to do the. I want to focus on the mushroom thing at the moment. Right. Yeah, so that's working away for the next 4 days. Let's go collect scrap. Stop me from falling down to only 3 dice. I look forwarding to you explaining to Navigator why you have so much mushroom dirt under your nails while he's been nailed to the ground while a blind dog throws knives at him. Look, needs must, alright? I can't help him if I'm dead. And I need to get in with the Hypha commune so that I can I need to get in with the Hypha commune so that I can what is it? Maybe get one of those Greenway keys so that I can unlock all of the data around here so I can get more of the keys so I can actually get into him. Become a communist, yeah. Imagine me becoming a communist. Sell me some scrap. I forgot to do work in here. I have to do more work in here. I want to get to know this person. If I go to sleep like this, I am going to wake up hungry. Oh, I got 2 ship mine for. Ah, fuck! I didn't want ship mine fragments. I wanted fucking scrap. God damn it! Fuck! Damn my luck! As you work more and longer shifts at the Hype A commune, you find yourself ruminating on how cool Xi Jinping is, and also... wait, let me check. And also how cool is censorship. Okay. So, go home. Scrap. Scrap. And the cycle. Why did the music change? I don't think I've heard this music before. Even before you enter the office, you can hear the sound of Rabia working the heavy bag. She is hammering it, the chain creaking as it shakes with each hit. That's what you assume it is, but what if, and hear me out, it's actually Sabine in a sex swing as Rabia just like pulverizes her guts. She's been like this since... Sabine doesn't finish the sentence. They're sitting on a stool, looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through the SNARC data you pulled all those cycles ago. How have you been? I am well, Sleeper. Happy to no longer be hunted. They smile. Yatagan has plenty to deal with, and without Yannick, I'm free. They glance nervously at Rabia. Rabia stops punching, and in the silence, you can hear her breathing hard. Sabine looks over at her, and you sense something between them. You realize you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in this same unit. A lot has changed since then. They hooked him up like a puppet. Rabia hits the bag. Rigged that thing in his head so they could control him. Pushed the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabia throws a few more punches, but it is a lesson. Don't let them in. Another flurry. Yatagan shouldn't deal with corporations. And we never will again. She spits. She comes away from the bag. At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we come back from this. That Yatagan can still hold on. But there are opportunists trying to take control. Sabine turns to you. Yes. But now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants in the Yatagan's enforcers. It's a significant job, but I think with time, I can do the surgeries. Rabia walks away from the bag towards the far side of the unit. Those surgeries will never happen if Yatagan collapses. He shouts back at Sabine. Clearly, this is a well-worn argument in this unit. I like that they've become an old married couple. What now for you? Sabine looks over at Rabia. I want to help fix this mess if I can. There's the implants, and I want to return to my surgery. Low End needs doctors. What I understand now is that Yatakan can be something if we want it to be. Coming here from SNR, from the core worlds, it was all I saw was a gang. And with Yannick keeping me on a tight leash, they shudder. Rabia believes, and I want that belief. They look unsure. I also want to be done with SNR, but I doubt they're done with me. They glance away, rubbing their shoulders. Are you and Rabia... I really want this to be a, like, are you and Rabia okay? Like, are you guys on speaking terms? But I fear, I have a terrible worry that this is going to be, are you and Rabia like a thing now? Because I don't care. I cannot emphasize enough how much I do not care, apart from the joke I made about the sex swing earlier. I fundamentally do not care. I hope you're right. Like, about what? About the fact that Yadigan can be something more? Or do I hope that they're right that, like, SNRP is not done with them? Like, I fundamentally don't care and I'm too awkward to ask. I hope you're right. Me too. They smile. I've been wanting to say, Sabine begins nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I come from. I know I've apologized before, but I want to again. They pause. Like properly? When I leaked the data on the sleeper program, it was to try and help people. Like you. They grit their teeth. But after all the cycles here, being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all that got away from me. So when you turned up, it shook me. They run a hand through their hair. But I ended up here, so they look at Rabia. Oh, of course. They reach into a pocket and take out a handful of vials! Yeah! These are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. After these last few, I don't know what we can do. With the SNRP connection broken, they look down. But I know there are other ways. Repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard there are some labs out in the Greenway. Perhaps they can help? They meet your eye. I'm sorry, I can't do more. You tried. That means a lot. Like, thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes bright with tears. Rabia crosses back to you both and sits beside Sabine. So they are an item now. That's cute. That's cute. They look at each other, and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Rabia grins. Sabine laughs, and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later, when you leave, you take that handful of vials out of your pocket and look at them. You can still feel that core of anger, deep down inside, and you don't know if it will ever leave. But SNARP doesn't own you anymore. They can't. Because this place, these people own you. They are what makes you get up every cycle. They are what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low end. Your senses turned to every sight, every smell and every sound, soaking it all in. Living. That's nice. That's nice. I'm less hype about getting this now. So everything is +1 now except Intuit, which is +2. Wondering, should I save up for +2 on the engineer and then work on getting the upgrade points and then work on getting the skills for all the other things? Agent nodes give you double data. Keep 3 dice when your condition is breaking. Like, both hard to kill and obsessive haggler seem like good things. Like, hard to kill just in case I ever get down so low again that I get into breaking condition. And, like, this is just a good way to hold on to money if I'm doing, like, actions that aren't jobs, right? Because, like, I have nearly 300 at the moment, but, like, I won't have that forever. I think I'm gonna go with hard to kill. Actually, I'm gonna need to buy food a lot. You're kind of at the second stage of the game now, where you aren't really trying to survive, so I don't think it matters too much which you go for. Yeah, no, I was gonna basically say the same thing, is that, like, I've kind of gotten past the point. Like, I was only thinking of it when I was in that last cutscene, that, like, I've kind of gotten past the point where I'm trying to live, or I'm trying to, like, just, yeah, survive, I suppose would be a better way of saying it. Like, I'm just trying to, like, live a life now at the moment and make a life for myself, I suppose. I assume it's like there will be a third stage and then that's it. You're no longer a refugee with everything new and scary. You're now a citizen. Sleeper. I'm gonna go to obsessive haggler. Obsessive fits my character. That'll be done in a few days. Work the canteen. After seeing you prepare the food, the grow bed workers invite you to share a meal with them. Conversation flows warmly and freely. The grow beds are slower than the stacks. They reward patience, not just effort. As you finish, the canteen workers bring out food for your cycle. I'm just getting assaulted by food, huh? Ooh. I could go live. Communist. Noun. Someone who joins a commune. I got the achievement communist. Brilliant. Communist. Noun. Someone who joins a commune. Ah, that's great. That's great. Right, did I get an upgrade point for that? Did. Rico, the commune botanist. And also I can live in the dorm now, I guess? Yep. I could live with these people. I'm not gonna, but I could. Congrats on becoming a communist. I've never experienced this before. This is new for me. I know it was hard for you to get the silver spoon out of your... Yeah, like this is a culture shock for me. As you know, Jacob, I come from very rich stock and high breeding and you know, it's nice for me to get a look at what the what the workers the workers strife is like. Maybe one of these days I'll go on one of these picket lines that I hear all about. Top 10 communists of all time, number 1 me. Thanks. Alright, let's go talk to Riku. Or Rico. Oh, she looks cool. You head down to into the Haifa compound, following a blue painted line that is labeled laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they'd ask to see you, but you still have no idea about what. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass-roofed chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellow-green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you missed the woman standing at the lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Give me a second, I'm trying to find this. I'm trying to find the voice I'm going for. Give me a second. Welcome to my sanctuary. She smiles. Come, let's talk. She says and beckons you closer. What is this place? Here? These are processing centers for the agriculture and the Al Copper station. She offers a hand to shake. I'm Riki. I run the botany program here to Haifa. What is Haifa? She looks surprised. You've been working in the compound for a while now. I'm surprised you don't know more. He lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Haifa lives out in the land of the Greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here. We feed each other. We work for each other. Riku walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth. It's kind of a miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this? When they're abandoned? They dry up? Exactly. They run out of water. Very rapidly, in fact. She leads you left at a crossroads. But here, they endured. She smiles to herself. Actually, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they are taking control of this place. Rico continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patching the surface with gardens and algae tanks.
that feed into a network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as an extractive place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlen himself was so convinced that that his first colony never even came here to try and reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agriculture systems like kelp and fungal farmstecks. And yet here we are among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Hyphen came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, perhaps some fungal colonies hidden among the mulch. But we found a jungle.
With this, Rico hits a button. It's a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It is every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to the dark vines that surround them. It is wet, too, a rarity on the Eye. Condensation clouds light from the high glass roof and gathers on the shiny broad leaves of shrubs.
How? That is exactly the question.
Rico turns to you, visibly excited by the room you're both standing in.
It doesn't make sense. But in many ways, the system is stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need to import their meager output, this place runs itself.
Perhaps Solheim managed something new here. Perhaps they tweak the plants or built new systems buried deep below us.
Perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade and an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere.
And that's what I'd like you to help me find out.
She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew.
Aren't you the botanist?
Astutely noticed. But I don't need a botanist.
Riku sits on the railing.
These halls run deep, Sleeper. And I'm getting old.
She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway.
Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the Greenway. Alpha won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I could make the case, but I can't get the votes. You Sleepers are hardy beings. I know that much. And you can speak to the Eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can.
She holds out an arm so you can help her stand.
Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better.
Okay, I'll try.
Thank you.
She smiles.
Thank you for listening.
Rico leads you back out of the huge chamber and up through the passages. She is a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can.
It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time and few come true.
She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave.
Come back if you find something, Sleeper. There are discoveries to be made.
And you follow the blue line back to the compound, all the time thinking of that impossible, magical green. Also, no one cares if you die because you're not, people.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of, yeah. She said it in the nicest possible way she could, but yeah, the gist of what she was getting at was no one cares if you actually die. You're the one person I can send out and they won't veto me sending you out. Because you're not really people.
Rico has asked for samples of spores from the deep groves of the Greenway. With them, she might better understand how this biosphere functions. Also, yes, Jacob, I tried to go South African with her. I realize it's easier for me to do a male South African accent than it is to do a female one, so I fear that she came out more Australian in the end. But that's her voice now, so learn to live with it. Um... I'm so glad that this action is intuit. Also, I'm probably going to go to sleep after I you know, turn in after I end this day. That's probably going to be the end of the stream, just so you know. Rico is grateful for the contribution. Sleeper, you warm my heart with this delivery, thank you. Rico has asked for samples of spores from the deep groves of the Greenway. With them, she might better understand how this biosphere functions. Sleeper! Rico greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here. Come see. He beckons you over to a heavyweight looking console, wired to a series of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What's it say? Spores you have here are a real cookdown. A selection of types from within the groves. But I've been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have the Tricolama Matsutake. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciation as if it was nothing. Yeah, no, she doesn't. Not my Rico. A species Solheim, somewhat modified to use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console, showing a chemical composition, all gradiented bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsutake spores. Am I supposed modified? Yes. Every species on the eye is tweaked. Is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course. That's not the point. Riku brings up another panel, identical in layout but with wildly different colors and numbers. You see? This is what your Matsutake spores look like. They aren't the same. That's the conclusion, yeah. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim might have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have, and still are, affecting them. Affecting them how? It's hard to tell without samples of fully ground mushrooms. He meets your eye.
And herein lies our problem.
He moves to another desk where 2 trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second, you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of the fruiting matsutake, like rotting cotton overalls, laced with an edge of spice. Matsutake here are ground from slime stalks, pulled from a spore vault in the complex. She winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated from the spores you collected. No activity. No germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much she is enjoying this. So here is our puzzle, Cleaver. Spores from the grove won't grow in the lab. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become a mushroom farmer. I actually already started. Rico looks impressed.
Well, an ego mycologist. I'd never have guessed.
I assume you'd set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place for its proximity to the groves.
Bring me whatever grows, not just matsutake. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples.
She plucks a matsutake cap from the tray.
These little things are reflections of the conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry. It all derives from the conditions of their growth.
She smells the cap.
Oh, enough of these, and we'll have a picture of what is happening here. Of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself. Or being modified. Whichever the case may be.
Rico pops the matsutake cap into her mouth, taking you by surprise.
Well, don't worry, Sleeper,
she says while softly chewing.
if this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom gets away.
An e-girl mycologist.
No, you can't have my Gorole. They're for Emphas. Fuck off.
Today is BDSM day. I'm too tired this evening. I'll let her know though. Hand over the caps, and Rico looks pleased. My amateur mycologist, thank you. I'm not giving her the Gorole caps. They're from a boy Emphas. Are you sure you don't want the club-headed caps? They're weird. Alright, another 3 days before I get new mushrooms. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Right. That'll be me done, I think, then. Ooh. 3 6s. Sweet. Great way to end. Right. Well. Sorry for the shorter stream than usual. But I'm ridiculously tired. This doing this stream gave me energy. It definitely did. I'm definitely less tired than I felt going into the stream. But I don't think me going another hour is a good idea. I can feel it. I can feel me going another hour is a good idea. So yeah, thank you for hanging out, everybody.